1, 2, 3, 4. All right, welcome back to Country and Cold Cans, presented by the Cold Cans Network. I'm Logan, sitting here with Andy, Kyle, and once again, Classic Rock Carter. Make sure to go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, going over to Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you give us 5 stars, a great review. And while you're at it, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, click the alert button, check out the content we have coming from there. And then, we've got a brand new website. We said it last week, and I think the week before. You can find it at countryandcoldcans.com. Get you some merch, a hat, Richardson 112, Richardson 113, and the koozies. The other URL that works is coldcansnetwork.com. We've got a blog out there. Classic Rock Carter has actually been published twice on it now with a couple of good articles about AEW, pro wrestling, and Classic Rock. Shocker, it's in his name. But check out the content we have there for you in written form, coldcansnetwork.com. All right, fellas, how are y'all doing?
Doing well.
I'm doing all right, brother.
I am
fantastic.
Quite tired from replumbing my house, which has been a nightmare. Yeah, it's been a nightmare. No, it hadn't been too bad. I got one of Mike's buddies to help me, so we knocked it on out. So now we can flush, and that was Bailey's Valentine's Day present.
Well, speaking of Valentine's Day, once again, we're recording on Valentine's Day. So this is the Valentine's Day edition of Country and Cold Cans. We don't have anything as cool planned for the holiday like we did last year with the Austin Meade Coetzel remix of Happier Alone. But, it's another year. Holiday still sucks.
Yeah, it is. Another year.
Holiday.
Yeah, fake holiday. But more importantly than Valentine's Day, yesterday was the Super Bowl. Carter watched it, actually, kind of. He was on his phone part of the time, but he was at my house. He saw the Super Bowl. I know, Kyle, you said you watched some of it. Andy, did you have a chance to watch it? Because I know you're on the road right now.
I missed the first quarter because it was like 4 o'clock when it started where I was at, and it didn't register in my head that it was probably going to start earlier.
Yeah, because you were on a different time zone than the East Coast.
Yeah, it started when I cut it on at like 5 o'clock or something like that. It was already in like the almost the end of the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, recap of the game. The Rams won the Super Bowl, as I'm pretty sure most of America knows at this point. What was it, 23-20 over the Bengals?
Yeah.
MVP was Cooper Kupp. Dude had a hell of a year this year. One of the best seasons in recent memory from a wide receiver. And, good for Matt Stafford getting a Super Bowl ring finally. Because, what was he, 13 years in Detroit? And dude has always been a good quarterback. But just he was in that cesspool that is the Lions organization.
I have a few thoughts. Thought number one, Cooper Kupp looks like he's Amish. I'm sorry, he does. He looks like a little Amish boy. And in my opinion, he didn't deserve MVP. I would have given it to Aaron Donald because during that game, they had 3 dudes blocking that guy. 3 dudes. Mm-hmm. And he was still causing havoc. And then, he made the final 2 plays essentially to win the game. So I would have given it to him, and not the little Amish boy that is Cooper Kupp. Just look at it. Look at him and just tell me you don't see.
Honestly, now that you've said it, I completely see it.
He built a barn with all of his cousins and uncles with a donkey pulling up the walls.
He had no concept of what electricity was until he signed his contract.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he even knew what football was until, they forced him to go to school. Because,
he's really good at
federal law.
He's really good at churning butter. He does it in his spare time.
Yeah, he looks like a little Amish boy.
How do you think he strengthens his hands to the point that he can catch those footballs like he does?
Right, yeah.
From churning butter.
Yep. He probably discovered football when he went on Rumspringa.
Yeah, isn't that where they get to go away and
they get to leave? Yeah,
fulfill the lusts of the flesh, as they say, for a short time.
He probably
maybe if they want to come back or not.
Yeah, I guess he didn't come back because now he's playing football in L.A.
Yeah, that's the furthest thing from Amish country, Pennsylvania.
Pretty much.
Maybe one day on the horse and buggy, he just happened to ride past a football field and said, "That looks fun."
Yeah.
Why are they throwing that oblong pigskin around?
There's so many better uses of pigskin.
He won the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, they couldn't because they don't have TVs or electricity, right?
The letter will get there later this week, Andy.
Mother, father, I won the championship. They're like, what's the championship?
It was like, it reminds me of a couple of years ago when Andrew Luck still played. There was a phenomenal Twitter account that had like it was Andrew Luck's face photoshopped on like a Civil War general, and it would be like,
Dude,
"Dearest Martha, we have won the playoff game. I have overcame." Because Andrew Luck.
he did. He looked like a Civil War era general.
Yeah, he does. Just as scraggly as can be.
So we actually did that, like not me personally, but like NC State fans on Twitter did that with Braxton Beverly when he was a State, because he looked like he had the same look that Andrew Luck did, the big scraggly beard and everything. And they had the name of the account, they had him in like that faded, like kind of black and white, and it was called Captain Beverly. After every game, they would have an entry onto Twitter about like, dearest mother, today we succeeded over the blue team from Chapel Hill. It's like would go on and on about it. Pretty funny, but I do remember the Andrew Luck one too.
Yeah, Braxton Beverly even kind of sounds like a Civil War era name.
He really does. Really, and
like an antebellum.
Yeah. Hey, don't say that word. You're canceled.
Oh, sorry, oops.
He served over Stonewall as he burned a path through the South.
Sherman burned the South.
Yeah,
Read a book, Carter.
All right, well.
Stonewall was a Confederate general.
My history teachers at the Academy are now ashamed of me.
Oh, man. So, like, what were y'all's thoughts on the games other than Cooper Kupp being a little Amish boy in Kyle's mind?
I think me not having a rooting interest kind of made me less interested.
Interesting.
Because this is the first one in a long time. I really didn't care who won either way.
I was kind of in the same, but I was pulling for Cincy, but I wasn't upset when LA won because, I mean,
I wasn't either.
Whether it was Joe Burrow or Frat Stafford, check out the old row post of him from his Georgia days if you don't know what I'm talking about. But Frat Stafford or Joe Burrow, I'm cool with either of those guys winning. But I mean, I was pulling for Cincy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I fell asleep at halftime, and then woke up and it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. I was like, damn, I'm old. It's like 9:00 and I was asleep in my chair.
I've been trying to fix the pipes and get my toilet to flush. Who cares about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I missed the Eminem and
forget about the Super Bowl. I'm worried about the toilet bowl.
Everyone who was relevant 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So, hey, on the bright side though, we're like 10 years away from Slipknot and every punk rock band from the mid 2000s being the Super Bowl halftime.
Well, Slipknot's not punk rock, but
they're heavy metal. Yeah, but my point, it's like,
look, hear me out. I'm going to break this publicly on Country and Cold Cans. Carter and I were talking about this while watching the game. I said, what would be probably the most banger of a halftime show ever? Because typically, what does somebody get to play? About 4 or 5 songs, maybe. Mm-hmm. The best people from the early 2000s you could pick, Nickelback. They've got like 4 or 5 bangers that everybody like low key likes if you don't want to admit it. And they only have time to play like 4 or 5 songs. Nickelback would be awesome. Not even going to lie.
No, yeah, I could see that.
Be off, period.
Now,
in general.
I built off of Logan's idea and I said, let's just get like a lot of the really big rock groups from the early 2000s. Get Nickelback, get like 3 Days Grace, maybe the Killers. Get like 4 or 5 bands and have them play like a song or 2.
Okay, I saw Kyle's face. He's like, he must be anti-Killers. But look, if they broke out to Mr. Brightside at the halftime show, I would be like fangirling. Like that would be cool.
But 2 of those bands have things in common and one doesn't.
Yes, he's correct.
That's what I'm saying. Like I told Carter, I said the Killers would be paired better with say like Blink-182.
Blink-182, that'd be good too.
Yes.
Well, Travis Barker is off hunting for UFOs, so he's unavailable to perform at the Super Bowl halftime. He left Blink-182.
Yeah.
That's literally why he left.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Because he's the one that's married to Kourtney Kardashian, right?
One of them. I don't know who's who.
I don't know.
I think he's the one married to Kourtney.
He's still out there hunting honeys.
Well, I mean, no, because it's him, MGK, Megan Fox, and Kourtney Kardashian. They're all like besties now.
Thank you for your pop culture reference.
Well, I mean, me and Carter are much more on social media than you guys are, even though you guys 100% Carter. I want to call both these fuckers out on the air because they are on social media more than they like to admit. They claim that they live under a rock, but every time I go onto Instagram, I see either Andy or Kyle as active in the messages area on Instagram. So these guys are on Instagram way more than these jokers like to let on.
I will admit that
I get on Instagram a lot.
Yeah, I will admit on Instagram, I just love to send dank memes. There's a guy I know that has the exact same sense of humor as me. And anytime I find a funny ass meme that I know I couldn't send because Bailey wouldn't find it funny. And I don't know if you would find it funny.
Just guy humor, I guess.
Yeah, I just was like, he would love this. And I just send it to him. And we just have a meme channel going in my DMs.
Yeah, it's funny because like if you look through my Instagram messages, depending on who I'm sending it to, it depends on like what the content is. Recently, we have a group message on Instagram with Classic Rock Carter, Trucker Andy, me, and Clint, and lately it's been like a barrage of like 90s and 2000s wrestling stuff that's been sent, and it's been badass. I'm not gonna lie, Clint went down the rabbit hole the other day on this page he found. He said he spent 15 minutes looking at the page.
Yeah.
You gotta know your audience when you send it, right? I mean, that's just reality of sending a meme. Because the worst thing you do is send a meme and somebody just doesn't respond or whatever, like an asshole. Which Andy and Carter are those guys half the time.
The worst is the LOL. Because did you even look at it? Did you even look at it?
At least they're responding. At least even if they didn't look at it, they're like, hey, I value the fact that you took time out of your day to click the arrow and click my name and click send. Where Andy and Classic Rock Carter, me and Clint are the only ones that respond to each other unless it's something really funny. And then Carter responds. Trucker Andy never says shit.
Now Logan got really defensive there because Logan is Mr. LOL response.
Yes, because but see, I'm not a LOL whore. When I LOL, it's because I actually laugh out loud. It's not because I'm just typing LOL to appease people. Mm-hmm. Just know that my LOL is sincere.
I just think it's ridiculous to reply if I don't have something witty to say that's not funny. I don't want to just send a basic response. That's a letdown.
Yeah, but it's like me and Clint have talked about it in the past. Like when you send stuff to your friends that you find funny and your friends don't even respond, it's like the Andy Bernard meme that I would send to you, but you wouldn't respond to that either. That it says, "Sorry for annoying you with my friendship."
But I look at it and I laugh.
But we don't know you're laughing.
Yeah, you got to give the acknowledgement that it was funny.
Yeah, but if I just respond with a basic response, you don't know if I actually even looked at it.
Well, at least you responded.
Aha.
Instead, you're just like, you leave us on red. It says, seen by Andy Forsyth, seen by Classic Rock Carter.
But I think,
it's cold, Andy. That's cold.
Yeah, dick.
That's cold. Yeah, Andy, you're in the wrong. 100%.
You guys
I changed my opinion.
Sensitive women.
What you could actually do is just double tap the image and like it. That's not too much to ask.
Yeah. I changed my stance.
You know how hard that is to do?
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't touch the screen twice.
It doesn't work half the time. I'm just sitting here tapping the shit out of my phone and nothing's happening.
Andy,
you just got a brand new phone.
Are you having a boomer moment, Andy?
It's a piece of shit.
You just got a brand new
phones
pink.
Ain't what they used to be.
You just got a brand new pink iPhone 13. It should work.
It don't work as good as the other one did.
And I didn't even know they look. I just got one this week too, Andy. I got a red one. They didn't even have pink as an option. You had to custom order that bitch.
It's pink.
The only thing they had in this store in Roanoke Rapids was pink and pink.
Supposedly, but they didn't even have pink as an option in the store, like on the display case in Raleigh. So I think Andy custom ordered a pink phone. Which, look, no judgment if he did, but I think he custom ordered a pink phone.
It's pink, but you really can't tell. It's not that pink. Half time it looks white.
I'm going to put this theory to the test. I'm going to Verizon tomorrow.
There you go.
And if they have black or whatever other colors there are, I'm Andy, you're a liar.
Yeah, look, I know you guys can't, Andy can't see it, but I got an NC State red phone. It's pretty sick. Kind of hype about that.
So do I.
Yeah, there you go.
It was red at one time. Now it's faded.
Now I got a case on mine, so hopefully it won't fade it too bad. But iPhone 13 is pretty sick. I'm just having to get used to not having the button because I went from an 8 to a 13, and this is the annoying part because I had a button for the longest time. It was like 4.5 years I had that phone.
Christ,
dude,
I haven't had a button in a long time.
I still have a button.
We're not all as rich as you, Andy.
I have the cheapest iPhone they make. It's the SE or whatever, like the.
Oh yeah, I remember the SEs.
Wasn't that edition.
Wasn't that the plastic one? The SE.
No, it's not a C. It's S and an E.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. I didn't want to pay $400 or whatever, and then like $50 a month.
You're in for a rude awakening then. When you go to Verizon tomorrow, if you think that $400 is a lot for a phone.
Oh, you want to complain about my pink phone? You know how much I paid for that pink phone?
How much?
$1.
$200. $200.
Yeah, because you know why? Because you've updated your phone so fucking much that you had something that was tradeworthy in. Me, I had my phone for 4.5 years, so.
I've had this one for 3 and some change.
6.
Yeah, look at that, Carter.
I wasn't planning on buying a new phone, but mine broke.
Well, fair enough. I mean, it can't help it when it breaks. But
the screen quit working. I lost all my stuff and everything. It was devastating.
You don't back it up?
Yeah, I thought I had done that, but apparently I didn't.
He can't even figure out how to double tap something on Instagram. Although I question his motives on that because I've seen him double tap some images and like images, but he can't double tap a meme that I send him.
But in the messages, it don't work.
We know what images Andy's like.
Yeah, we know. We ain't going to say it on the air, of course. But we've seen that we're like Dave Portnoy, we're receipts guys. We've got the proof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Either way. He noticeably went silent. He's going to claim bad reception in Arizona.
Yeah.
Touche. All right. So talk about the halftime show. What'd you guys think? I'll have probably less to say than you guys do, but I will say
I might have the least to say.
Well, I was just going to say that like I'm not a big hip hop guy, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better halftime shows I've seen. I knew all the songs, and I'm not a big rap guy, but I knew all the songs. It was quite enjoyable.
The first thing I saw was Eminem do "Lose Yourself." How much did I miss?
Oh, you missed like the first 3.
You missed the majority of it.
Yeah,
I didn't see most of it. Then I was getting supper.
Yeah, because it started with Snoop and then went to Dre. Mm-hmm. So you missed a good portion.
Started with Dre, went to Snoop.
Oh, was it Dre first?
Yeah, Dre was first. Then it was Snoop. Then it was 50 Cent.
Which now he looks more like 75 Cent these days. He's ballooned up a little bit.
Yeah, the physical embodiment of inflation. As I saw on Twitter, I can't take credit for that joke. Mary J. Blige into Kendrick Lamar, and then into Eminem.
These dudes, like I'm saying, I enjoyed the halftime show. Like it was Carter and I were talking about it at the house. It was better than that run they did post Janet Jackson nip slip, where they had to try to get all the guys out of the retirement home to have a safer
McCartney.
show. Yeah,
Paul.
The Who
was awful. The Who was awful.
Yeah, they were. The last couple years have been good. The Weeknd, he was fucking weird. He's just fucking weird, man. That was the weirdest show I've ever seen.
He puts on a show, but he was weird. Now I will say I stand for, and I'm a big fan of the 2 years ago, Shakira and J-Lo. That was a good show.
That was a good one. The Katy Perry, the Bananas. The Dancing Bananas was pretty good.
Oh, and the Dancing Shark.
And the Dancing Shark. And I believe, was it Gwen Stefani before that, where she jumped off the top of the stadium?
No, it wasn't Gwen Stefani. It was, wasn't it Lady Gaga, right?
Lady Gaga.
That was Gaga.
Yeah, it was Lady Gaga.
That was cool when she jumped off the top of the stadium.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. So they've done a good job the last couple of years. I think it was too many people because I fell asleep and didn't watch it live, and I watched it on YouTube today. I just thought it was too many people.
Maybe so.
Fair enough.
Maybe so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes more sense being a rap because rap is like the number one collab.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of collabs in hip hop.
Yeah, so I guess it makes sense. It was fine. I don't really have much else to say.
I thought Dre, Snoop, and Eminem together made a lot of sense because they've got some. I can't remember if it's still Dre or Forgot About Dre that they all did together that was really, really, really popular. That made a lot of sense for them to perform together.
Yeah, those three have, especially like Dre with Eminem and Dre with Snoop, they got a lot of connections throughout the career. Kendrick Lamar is pound for pound the best current guy in the game, in my opinion. So
He's
it made
Barack
sense.
Obama's favorite rapper. Remember when he said that?
Yeah, when he had his list of favorite artists. Yeah. But no, like Kendrick Lamar, I think is like one of the best like current rappers out there. That's not like a quote unquote legacy act. I mean, 50 Cent was just a throwback to, it was a lot of our childhood. A lot of the people that watch football now like their high school years. So everybody loved that.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
And look, Mary J. Blige can fucking sing, man. She can.
She can. I'm not gonna lie. When I was like 12 or 13, Disco Inferno was some softcore porn. Just watch the music video to Disco Inferno. It was hype. I mean, it's just booty everywhere. So, Carter, you're watching on YouTube right now, aren't you?
No, I mean, it was like I was telling Logan, and Clint the other night. I mean, pretty much almost every song that they played were staples of our middle and high school dances from the mid to late 2000s. I think it was pretty, even me, who is not much of a rap or hip hop guy, I knew almost every single song that was done.
Yep.
It was nice to see 50. It was nice to see 50 Cent again. I'm sure he probably was having blood rush into his head, hanging upside down for the first half of that thing.
That was a callback to one of his music videos.
Yeah, it was.
Nice. Snoop Dogg out there dressed up like the frickin' magic carpet from Aladdin. It was pretty great. And Dre can still go. He impressed me the most out of everybody up there.
Yeah, he's like 56 years old or some shit, something like that.
And he still sounded exactly the same as he always has.
Mary J. Blige is in her 50s, I believe.
Yeah, I think she is. She's always had some pipes on her.
She has.
Yeah. But one of the funny things I saw, people were talking about, they called it I saw a little video of it for the performance started. Somebody called a camera video of Snoop smoking weed before the performance started. And everybody's like, oh, Snoop Dogg smoking weed before the show. Like, okay. At this point, you didn't know that?
It's what he does. He even has have you seen the ads he's got at gas stations with him and Martha Stewart? And the new Bic lighters, and it's like, great for candles. And for other things.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you want to talk. I mean, literally, there are people who are going to be mad at Snoop for smoking weed. But guess what Willie Nelson used to do before every single freaking concert he ever did?
And look, Snoop and Willie even did a song together.
Exactly.
That would have been cool if they just brought Willie out of left field. And him and Snoop just did something.
That would have been kind of funny. But at this point, who hasn't done a song with Willie Nelson?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I feel like with us talking a lot about country music, we should mention, because I am a pretty big fan of Mickey Guyton. Ever since her first EP, she did the national anthem at the beginning, and she did a really good job. The only thing I wish that they would have done, they didn't need the backup vocalists. She's a really good vocalist, and I think that it would have been better if she had done it like solo. But she did a good job. She killed it. I mean, that's a tough song to sing especially in front of, this is the biggest stage there is for singing the national anthem. She knocked it out of the park, man. So
no one does as good a job as Whitney Houston did at the 92 Super Bowl. Just Google it. Homegirl crushed it.
Kyle's a big Whitney Houston stan on this pod.
Well, I think she's the greatest female singer of all time.
From a vocalist perspective, I'm kind of like, I can't really argue a whole lot with that.
Yeah. But who did it last year? Wasn't it Eric Church and somebody?
Eric Church and somebody else. I can't remember who was with it.
Yeah, I didn't really like their rendition. It was kind of
Eric is not really a vocalist. He's his own admission, a stylist. So
it wasn't very good.
He had to do it a different way because he doesn't have the vocal chops to be able to do it like Mickey Guyton did.
Wasn't it like an Army Air Force cadet or something like that sang it with it? I can't remember. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a year ago at this point, so I don't remember. But hey, and then I guess we got to mention too, while we're still talking about Super Bowl, Carter, I kind of want to know what your thoughts are on this before the other guys. But they instead of isn't it usually like Michael Buffer they bring out to introduce the Super Bowl? At least somebody said that on Twitter. Don't know if it's true.
I know that Michael Buffer does the Rams games.
Yeah, or maybe the Rams games, but they had The Rock this year introducing the Super Bowl. Carter, you're the resident big pro wrestling guy. What was your thoughts on Dwayne The Rock Johnson introducing the Super Bowl?
Look, I love me some Rock. I love me some Rocky from like his period where he was in his best, even as that young blue chipper Rocky Maivia in 1996.
He sucked in 96.
He did, but I mean, at least he was, a professional wrestler and, becoming the most electrifying man in sports entertainment up until he left full time in 2002. But ever since, I don't know what happened to him once he became like a big guy in Hollywood. He's got this weird self-motivational, I have to constantly be like a hype man for me and everyone around me. He's got like this weird, almost drill sergeant energy about him. And it just feels so fake and so forced. Mm-hmm. Literally, the best example I can give of just how weird it is there was a pay-per-view in like 2013. He was challenging for the WWE title. And literally his entire promo before his title match was about his mom having cancer and how he was going to like feed off the fact that his mother had cancer. And he's like, my mom out there stricken with cancer. And you did that to my mom. And he almost was like trying to say that the person that was he was wrestling that, I think it was CM Punk, gave his mom cancer. And that he was going to use everyone there to help him win the title off Punk and help his mom not have cancer anymore. And he's just Mr. I have to say whatever makes everybody like me.
Yeah, which is annoying, and I agree with you because, one, it comes across like Grant Cardone, Mr. 10X. If you don't know who Grant Cardone is, he's a used car salesman who tries to I don't mean that literally, Kyle, because I saw your face. He's a used car salesman in the proverbial sense that he just like he thinks that all you have to do to make it and become a gajillionaire is to just do everything you're doing 10x, 10 times more. It's not really true. Some people just have more talent than others in some areas. It's just reality of life. But The Rock is so inspirational these days that it's like it's the opposite of when he was cocky, arrogant Rocky, in 99. Like, I like that guy better than I do this happy, smiley. Like, people that act like they're happy all the time, I call bullshit.
He's also just like, he's a brand now.
Yeah.
The Rock is a brand. He is Mr. Selling himself. You can walk into any gym in America and you're going to find people that are decked out in Rock apparel who've never probably even seen him wrestle a day in his life. They probably only know him from watching the Fast and the Furious series or G.I. Joe movies. And I mean, that's okay.
Or the Tooth Fairy.
That's fine. Or the Tooth Fairy. Or Race to Witch Mountain or any of his other really bad movies. Or Doom. I could list off a million of his bad movies. But he's just so fake. Like his whole thing of, I got let go from the Miami Hurricanes and I didn't get drafted in the NFL. And I had $7 in my pocket, $7 in my name. That's why I started $7 production studio or whatever it's called. Yeah, you had $7 in your pocket, but you also had a standing invitation to join the largest wrestling promotion in the world because your father and your grandfather were two of literally Vince McMahon's seniors, like top stars.
Talents. Yeah, I mean, it's like he was the first third generation wrestler that like was kind of like in the mainstream of wrestling. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Like it's not like he was $7 to his name and had nowhere to go, and he just by happenstance walked into Vince McMahon's promotion and made it. Like he had a open door there. But I mean, I agree with you. Like it just came across as overly corny, overly cheesy at the game in a way that it fits better in a pro wrestling ring than it did at a beginning of the Super Bowl.
Though I will say, because The Rock is currently the owner of the XFL, I would have died laughing if he had mentioned it or if he'd been like trying to put the XFL over literally right there at the beginning of the Super Bowl. I'd have cried laughing.
That would have been funny. But God, what'd you think of the Rock's intro?
He's turned into Major Payne.
That's a fair comparison.
That's what he reminds me of now. It's just like, what are you doing? I mean, yeah, like I said, Bruce Buffer. I mean, Bruce Buffer gets paid like $50,000.
Not as much as Michael.
Michael who?
Michael Buffer.
Oh,
the boxing announcer. The boxing announcer. He charges way more than Bruce ever does.
Bruce does the MMA. I know, but but yeah. I mean, he gets paid an insane amount of money to do his little shtick. So I'm kind of jealous of that, but
yeah, really though.
I mean, it was just like it
went too long.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff does. I just went and got a beer, and then it was still going on, and I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah, and I was disappointed when he didn't end with "If you smell what the Rock is cooking." If he was going to do the whole shtick of finally, the Super Bowl was back, kind of riffing off his old Rock routine, he at least needed to end it with "If you smell what the Rock is cooking," but he didn't, so it was disappointment. Andy, did you see it at all? Because I know you said you missed the beginning of the game.
No, I didn't see that at all. But you guys sound like a bunch of haters. Long live the Rock.
Wow, this coming from a Stone Cold fan.
Andy's a Randy Orton guy. Don't forget
Rock
that.
Too.
That's fair. He's a Randy Orton guy.
Randy Orton, circa 09.
He'd love to see Randy Orton now, fucking palling around with Matt Riddle, talking about smoking weed every chance he gets.
Smoke weed every day.
Kind of lame.
It is lame.
All right. So the next big thing with the Super Bowl is, you always have those folks that, they don't ever watch football but that one day a year. And they are like, I'm just watching for the commercials. Sometimes commercials knock out of the park. Sometimes they aren't. What are some of the commercials that you guys liked? Were there anything that you kind of thought was funny? Anything you thought was good?
The crypto Coinbase one was pretty good. There was the Office thing, with the little QR code that was bouncing around.
The DVD screensaver.
I thought that was clever. I don't really remember a lot of other ones.
Dude, the Coinbase one I thought was genius because it caught my attention immediately. You can ask Classic Rock. He was sitting in the living room and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And then it was because it was like the old DVD thing.
Mm-hmm. I even got hyped when it hit the corner.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, oh, let's go. But it was like that scene from The Office. Like you said, it was part of pop culture now. And then before it got to the very end, I hit the QR code, saw it was Coinbase, and Carter was like, oh, fuck. It's crypto.
I don't like crypto, man. It's fake money.
So is the US dollar.
I mean, yes, money in general is inherently fake, but
Yeah, but I was hype about that one. I even liked how it was kind of like the very end card where they showed that it was Coinbase. It was like old school, like it was like 90s, 2000s internet. I thought that commercial was genius. Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember any of them. Like I said, I slept through halftime and most of the third quarter.
Yeah.
What was that one, Logan, you liked with the Mannings?
Yeah, so they had I can never remember the guy's name, but it's the black dude from
the Caesar Sportsbook one.
Yes, it's the black dude from Curb Your Enthusiasm. One of my favorite characters on Curb. He's hilarious. If you haven't seen that show, you need to watch the show. The later seasons he's in it, and he hangs out with Larry all the time. But he was dressed as Caesar. And it was Caesar Sportsbook, and he had like the whole Manning family at dinner. And then he goes, now, if I'm remembering it correctly, because I only saw it once, this is how I remember it. He said, now, will one of you Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame quarterbacks pass me the gravy? And then Cooper Manning, the forgotten Manning brother, reaches for it, and he goes, I said Super Bowl winning.
He said, now, will one of you legendary quarterbacks?
Yeah.
And then when he tried to pass it, he said, no, I said legendary.
Yeah. It was the forgotten Manning brother that didn't play in the league.
Mm-hmm. But his son is the number one college recruit in the country.
Dude, yeah. Arch Manning, everybody in the country wants him to come play for him. I think that dude's going to be a stud.
Yep. So that's his. So that blood is thick.
Yeah,
with
those Manning genes, they come out of the womb with a football in their hand, throwing it 60 yards.
Yep. So he's already rich. Nick been sliding it in with.
Oh, Nick Saban. Why do you think Nick Saban went on the Manning cast when they were doing their ESPN2 Monday Night Football thing? Nick Saban doesn't do that stuff.
Kirby went on there.
Yeah, of course.
All those coaches.
Lane Kiffin. I think he went on there. Of course, the Lane train. Look, I mean, most of the Mannings outside of Peyton played at Ole Miss. So. Mm-hmm. like I think he's going to have Ole Miss as a finalist, even if I think personally he's probably going to go to Alabama.
I think he's going to Georgia.
You think he's going to Georgia? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
I don't think he's going to Alabama because Bryce Young's going to be there
2 more years.
At least another 2 more years.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That kid wants to play,
and he could play at Georgia next year.
Yeah, kid's a stud.
So, yeah.
4-year starter.
Yeah. Were there any other commercials, Andy Carter, that you guys thought were memorable or funny? Because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of them were forgettable. The Marvel commercials, I thought the trailers were cool, but I mean, there's nothing really memorable.
I have the most ultimate boomer thought about it.
It's just not a boomer thing today.
I didn't like that they were all new commercials and not all the old classic commercials that I'm now familiar with.
Well, they have new commercials every year, don't they?
They do. Yeah.
Was there a Clydesdale commercial this year?
It was, it sucked because I don't remember.
It was one about a horse trying to like jump a barbed wire fence and got his hoof injured, and then at the end of it, they just clacked beers together, and it was like Budweiser, and I was like, what? That was a lot of the commercials for me this year. Was it was just the commercial would play, and I'd be like, what is this commercial for? And then the commercial would end, and it would be like, yeah.
Was that the Salesforce?
I don't even know what
commercial?
that's even about.
Because that one, a lot of these commercials,
Salesforce one, yes.
Yeah, because a lot of these commercials they made no sense. Like they went on this long diatribe about something, and then at the end the logo for the company they were pimping out was popped up, and I was like, that how was that connection ever even made?
I don't remember any good Doritos ones either. Usually they're top notch.
I don't think Doritos had one this year.
They did. They had the one where the lady was in the woods
sloth,
or whatever, bird watching, and then all the animals start dancing because they eat Doritos.
That's right. The Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch Doritos, which is a oxymoron.
I got one that I hated. The Uber Eats commercial was terrible.
Yeah.
Which one? He kept eating stuff.
Oh yeah, that did suck. They got a bunch of celebrities to eat stuff that wasn't edible.
Mm-hmm. It's like Uber Eats and more.
I saw it on YouTube later. It's horrible. Yeah.
That wasn't very funny.
And don't eat.
Lord knows, most of these commercials did suck this year.
So the ones I mostly remember were the ones that were mostly nostalgic. I didn't mind the GM one with Dr. Evil and everybody and all the villains from the Austin Powers franchise. That was okay. Jim Carrey reprising his role from the cable guy for the was that Apple Home or was that Google Home? It was one of the little boxes that you'd speak to. Verizon. You're right. You're right. It was the Verizon Home thing. That was fine. I mean, nostalgia sells. That's most of what I remembered. A lot of the commercials this year, I'm struggling to remember most of them. I remember there was that one for T-Mobile with Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus.
That was like a 2-part commercial. It was a
2-parter. It was kind of not that great. The main ones I can remember just ones that had like celebrities doing weird things. Yeah. That one with Zeus and Selma Hayek, I think it was.
Yeah. That one was like
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, they were talking about the electric cars for Chevrolet.
That's right.
And then I got to give a shout out to Zendaya. She was in a commercial pretty early on. She's already emerging as a big star. I'm a pretty big fan of her. I was a big fan of her in the Spider-Man trilogy, but she was in a commercial early on. I wish I could remember what the commercial was about, but she caught my eye when she came on there.
I forget what she was into.
I didn't think it was a bad commercial, but the electric Silverado commercial, it's not necessarily the commercial. That truck looks like shit.
Yeah, because it looks like an Avalanche. Those were ugly when they were made years ago.
Why on God's green earth can someone not just make, if you're going to make an electric truck, just make it look like the regular one?
Seriously, like if you want to change up the lighting,
figure out.
Like if you want to change up the headlights and make them a little bit more sleeker or whatever, go for it.
The grill or something.
Yeah, or something like that. But like, don't make it look like an Avalanche. That sucked the first time around.
I'm sorry.
It looked like the mix between an Avalanche and the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
I just have a bone to pick with electric vehicles, but we don't have to go down the rabbit hole. They just annoy me.
They annoy me too. It's just a way for rich people to make themselves feel better about themselves, about all the other ways they pollute. So they go buy an $80,000 vehicle and be like, look at me, it's all electric. Nobody fucking cares.
And kill the environment making batteries.
Seriously, though.
Or get their electricity from a coal-powered plant.
Yeah. But that's a topic for another day because we could go down the rabbit hole about EV vehicles.
Yeah, we could.
Yep.
But yeah, like all in all, most of the commercials were pretty forgettable. I mean, other than just like, celebrity that you like popping up, you might remember that. The Manning one was kind of funny. I think Coinbase probably stole the night, but most of the commercials were pretty forgettable. I mean, you couldn't remember really what the companies were advertising, but
we should have played the game where you watch a commercial as it's starting and you try and figure out what company it's for before the logo comes up if they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because there were so many commercials that I was
You would have
like,
lost everyone this year.
Yeah, I was like, what is this talking
There's
about?
no answer key.
And then literally it would be like Cash App. And then after doing some like long 2-minute commercial, and I'm just like, what?
PayPal.
Speaking of Cash App, I was in Lowe's the other day, and this dude walked up to me. He's like, "Hey man, you got any money?" I was like, "No man, I ain't got no cash." He's like, "Oh, I got a Cash App." I was like,
Dude,
they've evolved. They've evolved. No, I don't do Cash App.
Tell you a quick story before we
dead on that one pretty bad.
Yeah, tell you a quick story before we jump into the next topic. A similar thing happened to me. It was damn Boy Scouts of America is who it was. They were walking around tailgates at NC State one day, and were trying to get people to buy popcorn. And this was probably 2016 or so. The little kid comes up to me, and I use the age-old excuse when I don't want to buy something. And I said, he was like, "Hey, sir, you want to buy some popcorn?" I was like, "Sorry, buddy, I don't have any cash on me." He goes, "That's cool. I have a Square card." that joker put me in a corner, and I had to buy popcorn from the little kid, and I didn't want to because I didn't want the popcorn. But it's like he caught me, man.
How much was the popcorn?
Dude, it was wasn't it like $12 or something stupid?
No, it was like $20. It was $19.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was like the kid got me.
Outrageous price.
Dude, the kid's a hustler. He got me. But technology is gonna kill a player. That's for sure.
Yeah, people are catching up. A lot of people nowadays are getting them little card readers that you can just slap on an iPad or something.
And that's what that little dude had. He got me in a corner, and I had to pay $20 for a bag of fucking popcorn. Hats off to him. He's a hustler.
Damn.
Son of a bitch, you got me.
Yeah. Accurate. All right. So moving away from the Super Bowl, one of the funny things that kind of caught my attention and caught the attention of a lot of people on the Country Cold Cans Twitter that has been really, really funny. So if you guys remember, we have an unpublished episode because I went back and listened to it. I felt like that I in particular, but we as a whole were probably a little too mean on this guy. But Cody Wolfe, the biggest fraud in the country music sphere. He just is takes the whole phrase "fake it till you make it" way too seriously. But he how this whole thing started off. Dalton Domino, Cody Wolfe's on Cameo. Dalton Domino bought BJ Barham a cameo from Cody Wolfe to give him some pointers about music, probably about 2 years ago. And Cody Wolfe goes on there and thinks that BJ is just a fan. So he makes this, cameo telling him what he needs to do to be successful in the music business. Cody Wolfe is a guy who pretends to have a private jet and he took a screenshot of his name on billboard.com with no other things. And he says, "I've made it. I've got a #1 song." Not true, obviously. Dude's a fraud, total fraud. And, he bans anyone who says anything slightly not positive about him. But he rented he apparently took some pictures on sitting on a private jet one time, and he uses them all the time, and he's wearing the same clothes, and he makes it seem like he's always flying on his private jet. Well, that cameo thing happened, and then Cody Wolfe, when BJ was playing in Memphis, Tennessee, found out that BJ was there. So he goes to the show. And he tells the people at the door that, he knows the band and he wants to go see him. So BJ finds out, and the guy comes back, and BJ takes a picture with him. And you guys have seen the picture of him standing there. BJ's wearing his NC State shirt, and he's holding his hand into his head like this. And he's can't believe the guy got through there. And he was just saying, Cody Wolfe made it through, and they talked about it and everything. Well, Cody Wolfe resurfaced that photo and repurposed it just about a week ago. Cody Wolfe posted that same photo on Instagram, and he puts it as the location as Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This clown puts this as the caption, and I quote, "This is why I love playing music. Surprised my biggest fan at my show in Myrtle Beach a few nights ago. Can tell by the look on his face how happy he was to see me when my bus pulled in. Heard he was trying to tell security he was in some band and to let him in. I didn't even know he played music, but I showed him a thing or two on the guitar. Thank me later, kid. Maybe someday you'll have a private jet like me. Hashtag American Aquarium." So BJ and American Aquarium are vastly bigger and vastly more popular than this guy is. But this guy legitimately steals his photo and creates this like false fantasy that BJ was trying to sneak into his show. And then it continues. So American Aquarium, as a show that they're playing here on June 17th at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. Haley Witters is opening for them. Sounds like a killer show, right? Well, Cody Wolfe takes to Twitter. This was today at 12:03 p.m. He tweets, "Happy to announce American Aquarium will be opening for me at my show at the Ryman on June 17th. Then he follows it up a few hours later and says, "Bad news, guys. I can't make it. You'll have to take the headlining spot for me, American Aquarium. Hey, Haley Witters," he adds her. "Do you want to jump in and open? I think you got this." I don't know if this kid's crazy or if he's just like the most successful and the most genius troll I've ever seen in my life. I can't look at his Twitter though unless I go to my personal account because he's blocked us on Twitter because I think I said something kind of snarky at him one time and he blocked me after that.
You did. That was the whole reason we made that podcast episode.
Yeah. Where he said that he surprised his biggest fan at his show. How do you surprise your biggest fan at a show and that they're there? That made no sense to me.
He was trying to say he surprised him outside of the parking lot.
Yeah, he said that he was trying to that BJ was at the door trying to tell security that he was in some band and he needed to let him in. So he surprised him in the parking lot, and they took a picture in front of Cody's bus, in air quotes, and Cody's trailer, and it was really American Aquarium's tour bus. But it's like he was trying to spin the whole thing around like BJ was trying to get into his show. Because like I said, this guy is either the greatest troll of all time or he's just crazy.
Sounds like somebody just needs to punch him in the face.
Sarcasm.
Dude, he 100% is like claims he has a number one song called I think what was it called? We talked about it on that pod that never got released. It was I don't know, but we'll see. I'm about to share something that the guys over at Hippies and Cowboys did recently. It was hilarious.
Oh, is this the interview?
No, we've already looked at that one. This just was today or yesterday, whenever it was. But Mike from Hippies and Cowboys creates his videos, and I'll just let you listen. The audio will play through on the pod. But Andy, I wish you could see it, but just look it up on Twitter or whatever, Facebook, whenever we get done with the pod.
So we got a 1622 unwanted visitor in Cody's green room here. Pretty standard stuff. He gave us this list of people not allowed to come into the room.
And the list says all ex-girlfriends, PJ Barham, because that's what Cody said about BJ in a comment on that post where he pretended BJ was trying to see him. So PJ Barham, Kate Upton, Mila Kunis, and Giselle, Tom's wife. These are the people that are not allowed into the back room.
His ex-girlfriends, PJ Barham, just some super fans that have really been trying to, harass him with too much stuff here. So we're going to take you in a green room. Cody Wolfe personnel beyond this point only. So better without you hanging around. Better without you. Okay, sir. This is not your green room. This is Cody Wolfe. We had a
he's a friend. Cody's a friend of mine. He told me I can come back here, just playing one of his hits. Just hanging out, man.
So I got radioed in that you're an unwanted visitor. So I got to ask you to leave.
There's got to be a miscommunication. Like, I'm his buddy. I'm his friend.
Dude, I got this list here. It says right here, PJ. Is that you?
PJ Barham is not me. I am not PJ Barham. I'm buddies with this guy. I'm friends with him.
It's following orders.
This is bullshit,
it's
man.
Following orders. You gotta get out. You gotta leave.
We're friends. We're friends.
Like, I gotta say, that was pretty, like, so apparently BJ and the boys were playing in Iowa, which is where Mike lives, and Mike must have got in touch with BJ, and they put together that clip, which is hilarious, because, like I said, Cody Wolfe is such a fraud. He's trying to sit there and, like, he started following a bunch of American Aquarium fans and tweeting things out, like, you know, he's really helping out this young band, like he's giving BJ pointers. Like, I don't even know what to say about this guy.
I think, like I said, it's hard to tell if he's just a top level troll or he's just truly delusional, because, like Dave Portnoy said, I have the receipts.
Yeah, like
we have the receipts.
We have the receipts. Like, it's not like he's getting away with this. No one believes this.
No, it's just like, and it's not even like he has plausible deniability. He doesn't.
Like, he was tagged in the photo, I think, that BJ initially put up, so the kid knows he's lying. But, but like, I'm starting to think this guy's just a genius troll, and we are not giving him enough credit.
Yeah, I mean, like, the internet is undefeated. Like, I mean, people have screenshots. Like, I mean, they'll always just come out of left field and just nail you to a wall. And he just doesn't care.
Nope.
So I don't know if it's just like a lack of self-respect or dignity or what. I mean, but, like, I'm just dumbfounded.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm just dumbfounded. Like, I mean, it's blatantly obvious. I'm lost for words.
Dude, I really, really, like, want to get Cody on this show. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to sit there and talk to this guy for 30 minutes. But I mean, that dude has, like, he's blocked me on Twitter, so I doubt he's gonna be open to coming on the show. But I think it would be just a hell of a time. Cody, if you're listening to this, man, come on the show. We're not gonna be dicks. We'll be respectful. I just want to pick your brain for a minute, buddy.
I mean, I think you're in the wrong career. I think you ought to be an internet troll.
Seriously,
I think you ought to be a politician.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you get people riled up,
dude. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, he could be a pundit on TV.
He really could. I mean, he lives in his own reality, like most of the people on the news do. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, what we said hasn't worked because you haven't done it right yet. I mean, like, what are you doing? Just dumbfounded. I mean, hats off. I mean, I think he believes fake it till you make it, and it just might work out for him.
I guess. I mean, apparently, like, the way he'll tell you is he has a private jet and we don't, right? So
he's doing something right. He's doing more than we are, apparently.
I mean, more people know his name than know ours. So I guess, you know, maybe we should start making ridiculous posts and have everyone think that we're crazy. We could be the crazy Alex Jones versions of country music, like Cody Wolfe is, because that's exactly what Cody Wolfe is. He's a nut job.
Yeah.
I believe Dave Portnoy went and ripped off the entire idea of Barstool Sports from us.
Exactly. We'll go after El Prez. We'll be like, you know what? That Dave,
bad idea.
He's a liar. Dude, he would, like, destroy us in a heartbeat if we got on his bad side. You don't want to
go up against that guy.
No.
People are making mistakes going up against that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, like Carter said, how dare Dave Portnoy steal our idea? We were first.
Yeah, we created this whole medium and this whole idea when we were 2003. We were 8 years old. We did it before him.
We were the first person to ever podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
how dare Joe Rogan steal our podcast idea?
Yeah, exactly. We have a bigger podcast than he does.
Yeah, we do. We're the biggest podcast in the world.
That would be the equivalent of, like, you know, Cody Wolfe sitting there acting like that BJ is some crazed fan trying to sneak on his bus. And then he's pretending like he's playing a show He has to back out at the last minute. That one got me even more than the fake Myrtle Beach post.
Well, it's like the time we told Joe Rogan, we got a scheduling conflict. You can't come on this week.
Man, you're just gonna have to run the podcast yourself, Joe.
Yeah.
It's like it's like we had Dolly booked, but we also had we couldn't do it, because Carter couldn't make it that week.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had to tell Dolly Parton, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dolly's a big fan of us. We're not big fans of her.
Yeah, and then the week after that, we had Co Wetzel that was ready to come on. He was begging us trying to come on, but we had to say no to that too because I think I had a bowling tournament I had to go to.
Yeah. We literally were going to have Macho Man Randy Savage on like the year before he died, but I had to go and cure cancer. So.
But for real, that would be like if we made claims like that would be like the equivalent of this. Like, it's like, come on, man, like this is ridiculous. But
I was the first choice for NASA to be the first man on the moon, but they chose Buzz Aldrin instead. even though it was 40 years before I was born.
That's
first choice.
Cody Wolfe, you keep me entertained. Come on the show. Let's have a conversation because you got earlier. You piqued my interest, but now you have my attention, buddy. All right. So moving into the final segment today on Country Cold Cans here on the rundown. Carter and I were talking during the right after the Super Bowl last night. We got to watch in last week's episode of AEW, which was badass. Check that out on TBS if you can. And we got to talking about how pro wrestlers tend to have fake names, right? And sometimes they're like two first names. Sometimes they're just ridiculous names. We're like, what other industry does this? And
The Rock.
It's not even like The Rock. It's like, I don't want to spoil any because Carter has a segment prepared here, so I don't want to.
Oh, don't worry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to do that to you. But essentially,
I picked all things you wouldn't know. Don't worry about it.
Well, essentially, what we said was this would be a funny segment. We were going to let Carter head it up because he definitely knows more wrestling names and that he could come up with, and he can Google the others. It's the segment is called, and it's the first edition. We hope to bring this back. It's Pro Wrestler or Porn Star. So, question is, Carter, you said you got 5 names ready for us. Take it over, buddy.
Yeah, so let's set some ground rules here. Number one, it's not going to be anybody that either Logan or Andy has ever heard of. I'm not throwing out anybody famous from like the WWE. No Trish Stratus's, no Tori Wilson's. Those are the ones that y'all are going to be able to straight up say you know who they are. Not even anybody from AEW. I didn't even pick anybody from AEW that Logan may have heard in passing, and hearing their name will spike in his mind. Number 2, I didn't pick any obvious ones. Awesome Kong is clearly not a name of a porn star. Max the Impaler or Masha Slamovich. No, I'm pretty sure they're not porn stars.
Carter did his research. He's pretty sure.
So I picked a few here that I think kind of go on the lines here. And this is to say that neither professional wrestlers or porn stars, like, not to shit on them or anything, they just choose very similar names a lot of the time. So I got 5 here. I got more than 5, but we decided we're only going to do 5 for right now. So the first one I have here is Zev Bellringer. Is this a porn star or a professional wrestler?
Porn star.
Say the name one more time.
Zev Bellringer.
Going with a wrestler because there's bells in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go pro wrestler too for the same reason Andy said, because Bellringer, like Zev Bellringer. Bellringer just sounds like something like from an NXT person.
Ends the match with a bell ringer. The match ends. Makes sense.
Well, that's 1 point for Mr. Acree because Bellringer is a porn star.
Is it really?
Let's go.
It's a porn star. Yep.
Let's go.
Now,
y'all doing the reverse psychosis thing.
Now, y'all don't go
reverse psychology.
Y'all don't go writing these names down for future research.
That sounds like a dude's name. I don't.
Carter already did that for us.
No, these are all women.
Zev is a female.
Yes, that was a female. These are all females.
Oh, well, never mind.
I could do a dude version of this later down the line. Right now, this is all females.
Carter's like Johnny Hardwood.
All right,
John Foot Penis.
Number 2,
Tommy Knee Knocker.
Number 2 is Gigi Dolan.
Okay.
Gigi Dolan. Is Miss Dolan a professional wrestler or a professional porn star?
Let's break this down, Logan. Andy, I want to hear you.
I got a thought for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going with Pornstar, and I think that's her real name.
Her name is. Could you say the name again, please? Use it in a sentence.
Gigi Dolan.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Gigi Dolan
went to the market
to pound her partners hard.
That could be both pro wrestling or the other.
Yeah. Language of origin, please.
English.
Okay.
Gigi Dolan.
I'm going to say pro wrestling.
Dolan. And don't y'all be looking these up on your phones or.
I'm not. My hands are right here.
I can't see Andy's hands.
So we don't know
about that.
Field trips in high school. Hand check.
Yeah.
Hand check.
I guess it's already in. I'm submitted already.
I say pro wrestling.
Right. This one's tough. Gigi Dolan. I'm going to go because you said English. It sounds like an English name, but I don't know any English wrestlers that have weird names. It's like William Regal. So I'm going to go Pornstar.
That is another point for Mr. Akery.
Boom!
Gigi Dolan is a professional wrestler. She wrestles on NXT, and she is currently one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
Let's go.
Is it her real name?
That is not her real name.
Damn it.
Okay. All right. So it's 2 for Mr. Akery and 0 for both Mr. DeBerry and Mr. Forsyth. Let's see if y'all can make it up here. On number 3, JC Jane. And that is JC spelled Jayce.
Oh, that's a porn star.
Pornstar.
Is JC Jane a professional wrestler or a porn star?
That's a porn star.
Absolutely.
I'm going pro wrestler.
That's a point for Mr. DeBerry.
Oh,
boom.
JC Jane is a professional wrestler also on NXT. She is the other half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
JC and Gigi.
As part of the group Toxic Attraction.
That sounds like it could be a porn group.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
It's like a porn
so we
label.
have 1 point here for Mr. DeBerry. Kyle's still in the lead with 2. Andy, you got to at least try and tie for first here with these next 2. Number 4, Miss Brittany Amber.
Oh, that's a porn star. That's easy.
Pornstar.
Is Brittany Amber a professional wrestler
She
or a porn star?
I haven't guessed porn star yet. It's an adult film actress.
Andy, what was your guess again?
That's Pornstar.
Y'all are correct. All of you get 1 point. Brittany Amber is indeed a porn star.
She did answer the internet. That's my reason I know that.
Yeah, I was about to say I felt she was on KFC radio, and I didn't want to say that and let Carter know that we.
She did answer the internet.
She 100% was on KFC radio.
Okay, so the wrestlers, I have the ability to know your weak points or not, but the porn stars, I have no idea which ones y'all do and don't know.
KFC radio is a Barstool pod.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know what porn y'all are watching. That's y'all's whole thing.
Carter,
Carter,
you've told us what porn you watch.
Hey, look, that's between bros, okay? All right, so we're on to number 5.
It's right behind me, Carter.
We're on to number 5. Kyle's got 3 points. Logan's got 2. And Andy Forsyth has 1, so Andy can't win. Logan can at least tie. Our last lady here is Tiffany Stratton. Is Tiffany Stratton a professional wrestler or a porn star?
Spell Tiffany.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Tiffany.
Oh, that makes it more difficult.
Pro wrestler.
Wrestler.
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous.
Tiffany Stratton is indeed a professional wrestler. However, I made her number 5 because her gimmick on NXT is that she is a spoiled rich daddy's girl who constantly says, "Daddy, all the other girls are being mean to me." So she essentially has a porn star gimmick. So yeah, she's a professional wrestler. So that means with a score of 4,
Kyle wins.
Mr. Kyle Acree is the winner of the first edition of Pro Wrestler or Porn Star.
Is that a good thing?
I have no idea.
Well, you won most of them by picking porn star.
Oh God, people are gonna think I have an unhealthy addiction.
So what was it? 4-3-1?
Yeah, it was 4-3-2.
4-3-2. That's right.
You both were all of you were unanimous on the last 2.
Andy and I picked pro wrestling too much.
Yeah, I thought Carter was a little bit better of a person than he actually is.
That was good. We're gonna have to. You said you got 10 more, so we'll bring that segment back.
I got 10 more of them, and I can always think up more. There is a bottomless well of professional wrestlers, and there's a bottomless well of porn stars. So,
well, that's the first edition of Pro Wrestler or Porn Star, brought to you by Classic Rock Carter. All right, well, I think that sums up today's episode of Country and Cold Cans, brought to you by the Cold Cans Network. Make sure you go to the website, coldcansnetwork.com. Check out the blogs. Go on over to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media pages. We're available pretty much anywhere where podcasts are available. So go on and subscribe there. Give us 5 stars out on Apple and Spotify, Amazon, wherever you decide to listen to your pods. But, well, fellas, once again, thank you for coming on the show. Cody Wolfe, if you're listening, please come on. I want to talk to you, buddy, because you fascinate me. So for this episode of Country and Cold Cans, I'm Logan, sitting here with Andy, Kyle, and Classic Rock Carter. We will see you next time.
Take care.
Later.